Thanks for ending your Monday. We know things can get heated between these two, Grant. No love lost in this matchup.
And that competitive fire, it grows when you're in the same conference. You get to see each other so often. You know, B.A., I think we're in for some good theater in this one.
So here are the Jazz starting five. We've got Lauri Markkanen, Bailey out there with Keyonte George. Then it's Jusuf Nurkic, and it's Filipowski in at the power forward position. And the slam dunk by Thompson.
Thompson's vertical is impressive. I love seeing this young guard rise up and throw it down.
Markkanen outside. Fires the three. It's rebounded by Şengün. Here's Durant. Rebounded by the Jazz. Last game matched up with the Grizzlies. A tough loss there.
Yeah, we know that on the road, you're already a little out of your element. Then the misses from the line become contagious.
And, you know, one of the things about missing free throws is not only are you not getting points yourself, but it allows the other team to maintain momentum or keep a rally going.
Thompson's shot is off. Utah's gone 0 for 3 from downtown, and you look for bright spots in this developing core for Utah, Grant. What stands out?
Well, I think it's the front court, B.A. You have two gifted scoring forwards in Markkanen and Bailey. Then you've got Walker Kessler, an elite shot blocker, manning the middle.
That's their fourth attempt from the floor with nothing to show for it.
I tell you, a little extra pressure on D when you're up against a point guard who can elevate.
It doesn't make it easy, does it?
And you know, guys, showing how dynamic a weapon he is for this offense, they feed off of that energy and ability to make plays. It gets them going.
And it's slammed in by Durant.
That's the defense's fault right there. You can't allow Durant to get that kind of position.
Bailey, the pass to Markkanen. George, a screen on Durant. It's Markkanen on the wing, guarded by Durant. George, his shot is good.
He's consistent from out there, especially when you give him that kind of room.
Right side, Eason. Outside, Durant. The three. Rebounded by Nurkic. Jazz trail by 3. George scanning the floor. Here's Bailey, using his post moves to get the 2 points.
Hey, it's typically a positive for this offense when he's assertive and looking to score.
Durant, pass to Smith. Left side, Eason. Houston working the ball around. Shot clock at 6. Here's Durant. They get it back. And there's 2. Work on the glass, paying off that time.
Nobody better at getting inside and finding good looks. KD rarely forces anything, and he usually gets the best shot available.
And so Will Hardy calls the timeout. I think right now he might be looking at some adjustments.
You must have left here.
Houston will go for a different look here. Capella, he's checked in for Şengün. Finney-Smith comes in for Smith. Okogie's checked in for Durant, and it's Shepard in for Eason. So Utah going with an almost entire new group here. Love is checked in for Jusuf Nurkic. Williams comes in for Lauri Markkanen. Sensabaugh is checked in for Bailey, and it's Collier in for George. And here in the first quarter, a little over 3.5 minutes played. Pass to Sensabaugh. Love, a screen on Thompson. Here's Sensabaugh. And they're unable to get the tying bucket there. And it's exceptional, the level of commitment that Ime Udoka has inspired from this Rockets team, Brad.
Yeah, B.A. I mean, he's a player's coach, but very demanding, and he holds everyone accountable. It's all about professionalism and purpose.
Utah with the ball. After the basket by Houston. They set the pick. Here's Sensabaugh, defended by Thompson. 6 on the shot clock. Here's Collier. And misses it off the right side of the rim. The Rockets lead by 5. Pass to Thompson. And he lobs it up.
That's really an outstanding assist, creating a great opportunity inside. You can see the chemistry between those guys.
Well, the Jazz shooting just 22% in the early stages of this one. 3-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Here's Sensabaugh. Love, a screen on Thompson. Outside Love. The 3. Okogie pulls down the board. Pass to Shepard. Shoots over Collier. No good. Misses at the buzzer. And so it's the Houston Rockets closing out this quarter with a 7-point lead. Looking to run whenever they can. That's part of why they lead. All right, we'll get back to the action after this break. If you're just joining us, we played through one quarter in this one. All right, what do you think about the Rockets?
Well, it looks like hitting the boards hard was an emphasis of their attack. They knew how valuable it was to do so.
Yeah, and you know, when a team establishes an edge on the glass early, it really sets things up for the rest of the game.
We've got Alperen Şengün. Shepard is out there with Josh Okogie. Then there's Jae'Sean Tate, and it's Finney-Smith in at the 4. That's the group starting the second quarter for the Rockets. Here's Sensabaugh. 9 points for him in his last game.
Well orchestrated, and then the pass is right on the money.
Here's Shepard. Okogie on the wing. Şengün, a screen on George. Okogie, the pass to Şengün. And you watch Alperen Şengün. He's a beast on the blocks, Graham.
Yeah, B.A. He throws his weight around, but what separates him is his skill. Against the best post defenders in the league, he comes up with creative ways to score.
It's his first trip to the line. He misses the free throw. And Grant, when talking about certain players, we hear expressions like, he does the little things, or he does the dirty work. What does all that mean exactly?
You know, it's about what doesn't show up in the box score. Setting good screens, winning those 50-50 balls, hustling back on defense. Often, it's just as important as putting up those points.
He hits the second from the line. You know, the more you watch Şengün, the more you wonder if he's just a guard in the body of a big man, Clark.
Well, that's a pretty astute observation, B.A., because his passing is elite. I mean, his vision, he sees a half a play to a play ahead. I mean, you can actually run offense through Şengün.
George, no good.
And they're doing strong work on the glass, a +5 advantage for them.
And guys, you know that rebounding is a huge part, a huge component of winning games. It's not a glamour stat, but it's necessary if you're going to be a winning team.
And so Will Hardy calls the timeout. He's going to gather the troops and talk it over. Tate. Markkanen's checked in for Utah. Some small forwards who find open teammates. The assist leaders over the last month. The fourth spot held by Kevin Durant.
They're smart, athletic players who move the ball well in any situation, transition, the half-court set. You can count on them to just make good decisions.
I tell you what, you could put the isolated cam on these guys and you would notice how flawlessly they execute those entry passes. They create so many easy baskets in the low post because of how on time and on target those feeds are.
Let's check in with our reporter, Allie LaForce.
Thank you, guys. The Utah Jazz are going young, but this is a franchise that has a winning history, and that culture is still around. Coach Will Hardy said, the messaging doesn't change. The players have bought into the little things that takes to win. This is a cohesive group that's committed to helping each other. Guys, back to you.
Building the right way. Thanks a lot, Allie.
And once he gets to the rim, it's fairly automatic.
Nothing fancy right there. Just takes his 2 points, moves on.
Hey, guys, I know I'm stating the obvious here, but those could be an important 2 points considering how close this game is.
Here's Okogie. No made baskets yet. Quarter 2 and just under 2.5 minutes gone by. Pass to Markkanen. The rebound by Shepherd.
No matter what he's tried, it hasn't worked. Unfortunately, the team is suffering from that.
Houston working the ball around. Here's Durant. A strong finish from KD inside.
You know, the defense is all over Durant inside, but, you know, his length and agility and high release point allow him to still make it happen.
Fires from the wing, and that one's good. Markkanen. Markkanen's got 4 points in the quarter.
Gotta fight harder to get over those screens.
Well, I'm going to credit the screen. I mean, that's a good, strong pick he lays there.
Here's Shepherd. He's coming off a 10-point game against the Knicks in New York.
Well, he's a really good shooter. Got a good look from medium range, and I think they'll go back to that.
Here's Konchar. Good D by Şengün.
This has been a close game in a lot of ways, but they do have an edge on the boards.
We've seen it time and time again in games. Effort and determination on the glass can make up for a lot of other weaknesses.
Now here's George, a guy this team turns to often, averaging almost 24 a game. Here's Konchar. It's hauled in by Houston. The last time they came together was in Salt Lake City, where they fell to the Jazz.
Last game, their starting lineup struggled to stay on the floor. It just put too much pressure on the bench.
They've just got to be more careful tonight. It's that simple. I mean, those guys are too valuable. They need them on the floor.
Jazz trail by 7. 26 seconds left in the half. Pass to Sensabaugh. Tries a 10-footer. And another miss by Utah. And so it's Durant who brings up the ball for Houston. Outplayed in the previous game on their schedule, losing to the Knicks.
They looked lost in the final quarter. Couldn't keep it together at all. Miscommunications cost them that game.
Here's Markkanen. And so we've reached the end of the first half of play. It's Houston leading by 9. Let's send it courtside and check in with Allie LaForce. Allie, what do you have?
KD, you were so on top of it defensively. How have you been able to contain them?
They're so tough, but we're playing hard. You know, guys are getting beat, but we're helping each other out, and that's what we have to do if we want to win this game.
Thanks, Kevin.
All right, good stuff, Allie. And we'll get back to the action at the start of the third quarter.
Please direct your attention to center court and get ready for the fan passport shot. Drum roll, please.
Welcome to halftime, and guys, so far the game has belonged to Kevin Durant.
Yeah, we've said it before. When KD's in rhythm, there's really no answer. He can shoot over anyone and from anywhere, Ernie.
Amazing what he's done in only one half of play here. And during that first half of play, these two leading the way for their respective teams.
Yeah, you love to see two great players go at it. They brought their A games and the fans are enjoying it.
As we are here in the studio. Can't wait to see how these guys close it out. Thanks for joining us. Time to head back over to the third quarter with Brian Anderson.
We hope you've enjoyed the broadcast thus far. We're halfway through the game. One of the stories here, Kevin Durant. He's getting it done today.
Through the first 2 quarters, he's been on fire. Explosive offensive performance.
And you know what? I'll be interested to see just how much he's got left in the tank. That first half had to take a lot out of it.
The Rockets lead by 9. Kicking off the second half, here's Will Hardy's 5. Kyle Filipowski is out there with Lauri Markkanen. Then it's Bailey, then there's Keyonte George, and it's Nurkic in at the 5, roaming the paint.
And trust me, when the D's slow to react, he'll be the first guy to make them pay.
Boy, the defense looks shell-shocked. I mean, they're on the ropes right now, on their heels.
You have to credit their effort. I mean, they've done an amazing job on the glass.
And it's been a well-rounded performance. I mean, strong rebounding has certainly been at the center of it, but it's been good on a number of levels.
Here's Bailey, defended by Eason. Pass to Filipowski. And he jams it after taking the nice feed on the run.
And what an aggressive move to the rim. He's really trying to fire up his teammates right now.
Boy, it's not hard to feel inspired after a teammate makes that kind of finish.
You know, when you're looking to close the gap, you need guys who will take it upon themselves to step up, take the initiative and make something happen.
Here's Durant. The Jazz making their last shot. He was all alone on that one. Durant's gotten 4 this quarter.
It's been a dominant night for him, staying productive throughout.
Grant, is it fair to call Kevin Durant one of the most unique players we've ever seen?
Without a doubt, B.A., most definitely. The blend of size and perimeter skill, unprecedented. KD able to rise up and score over most any defender.
Now here's Eason. They lead by 11, largest margin of the game. Thompson finds Durant. KD won't be stopped.
And they've really managed to dominate inside.
The play in the paint has gone almost entirely all their way.
George passes to Markkanen. Utah moving the ball around. No good from outside.
Another miss. Not how he wanted to start the second half.
Here's Eason. Kept alive by Houston. Here's Şengün. From down in the low post, it goes.
Yeah, I love to see guys bagging their own groceries. Şengün snatching the miss and scoring afterwards.
And let's send it over to Allie LaForce.
Thanks, guys. Kevin Durant talked about the key to his longevity. And he said just being enthusiastic about the game every day and wanting to get better, that forces you to get in the gym. What you do the most is what you're going to be best at. And if you don't use it, you'll lose it. That's how I look at it. Back to you, Brian.
The love for the game. Allie, appreciate the report. Now here's Durant. He's got 15. And it's good with time running down on the shot clock. Durant's got 17.
Durant taking every last second there to get off his shot. This guy's got a flair for the dramatic at times.
And so Will Hardy calls a timeout. We might see him looking to make some tweaks to the strategy. Houston making some changes. Clint Capella, he's checked in for Şengün. Tate comes in for Smith. And it's Shepard in for Eason. Then for Utah, Williams is checked in for Nurkic. Collier comes in for Bailey. And it's Vince Williams in for George. Third quarter of basketball here. A little under 3.5 minutes gone by. Pass to Collier. Markkanen sets a screen to win the drought. Outside, Williams. Three-pointer, no good. Houston leading by 17. Thompson with it. He's picked up by Filipowski and finished off by Tate.
They've been very well-rounded and extremely focused.
Almost no holes in their performance tonight. They've been tremendous.
Here's Collier. No points so far. And Williams punches it home.
He knew exactly where his man was going to be. Outstanding lead pass.
Pass to Capella. Some solid defense from Williams.
That's going up against a defense that knows your tendencies.
And that one drops.
Great teamwork on that drive, punctuated by a strong finish.
That is the perfect fast break, guys. Getting a hoop before the defense can get set.
Now here's Durant. 17 points in the game. Green's checked in for the Rockets. Okogie comes in for Amen Thompson. Then for Utah, Kevin Love's checked in for Filipowski. Konchar comes in for Larry Markkanen. And Sensabaugh subbed in for Williams. 27 seconds left in the third. Tate against Williams. Goes up from the top of the key. The shot no good.
And that's a low percentage shot, and I'm sure he knows it.
Well, you can't be forcing a shot like that. You got to keep the ball moving. Get something better.
And here's Shepard for three. He can't hit that time. Kevin Durant has been leading the charge for Houston. 8 points in the quarter, showing how effective he can be. Back after this. And it's time now to bring you our State Farm assist to the game.
This is the definition of team chemistry. I love to see this kind of communication and connection between teammates leading to the perfect pass.
For me, next to the big-time alley-oops and monster throwdowns, passes like that are probably the next best thing when it comes to sweet-looking NBA highlights.
And we reach the fourth quarter in a game that may already be out of hand. Shepard is out there with Josh Okogie. Then it's Clint Capella. Then there's Alperen Şengün. And it's Tate in at small forward. That's the 5 for Houston right now. Konchar can't hit. The Rockets lead by 15. Here's Shepard. 13 feet out. It's rebounded by George.
Trying to close out. You got to know who's hot and who's not.
Back to Konchar. Pass to Collier. Count it.
Hey, they're just getting pushed around inside.
Yeah, you can't say that with enough emphasis. I mean, the defenders are just not being aggressive enough down low. You got to play with some physicality in the paint.
Here's Shepard. Here's the 3. That shot is off.
Look, bad shooting nights happen to everybody. He's just got to feel fortunate that his teammates have picked up the slack for him.
Here's Collier. Pass to Love. Lets the 3 fly. Rockets with a rebound. Şengün's got rebound number 5 here tonight. Here's Shepard. Over to the wing. The shot. That one a tad offline, but it drops in for him. And the Rockets lead by 15.
Well, this speaks to how assertive Şengün can be. Love when he makes quick decisions like that there.
And we've got a timeout called by Will Hardy. He wants their game plan to be crystal clear at this point. Rockets. Smith, he's checked in for Capella. Durant comes in for Tate. Eason's checked in for Okogie. And it's Thompson in for Shepard. And a new group getting ready for Utah. Nurkic is checked in for Love. Filipowski comes in for Conchar. Lauri Markkanen's checked in for Williams. And Bailey subbed in for Collier. All right, let's check in with Allie LaForce.
I was able to listen in on what Will Hardy was going over with his team. He told his guys to, quote, turn it up, going on to say, only way we get out of this hole is with effort, incredible effort. So show me what you can do out there. It's a big ask, but we'll see what happens. Back to you.
Okay, thanks, Allie. Now here's Filipowski. The triple drops.
Pick works well there, but the defense left a lot to be desired.
Yeah, that's not the defense you need. You got to be tougher defensively.
Durant with it. It's guarded by Markkanen. Can't hit it.
They get this rebound, but they haven't been able to keep up on the boards. They're lucky the game is as close as it is.
Yeah, but down the stretch here, guys, they'll summon that extra effort to try and get it done, I think.
The three is off.
It's clear he's totally out of sync. The team needs to rethink its strategy around what to do with him. I tell you, a little extra pressure on D when you're up against a point guard who can elevate.
It doesn't make it easy, does it?
And guys, showing how dynamic a weapon he is for this offense, they feed off of that energy and ability to make plays. It gets them going.
They can take their time if they want.
Yes, you have to regroup, make sure you get a good shot.
Knocks down the trifecta.
And they just continue to attack, even late in the game, while they're up big.
I don't think you want to get loose and sloppy or ease up, but it is time for them to start using that clock a bit.
Now here's George.
Right there.
So many great young players coming into this league, Clark. It puts pressure on those aging vets.
Yeah, the Hall of Famer Kevin McHale described it like this. He said, I see everything that I could do. I just can't do anything about it. That's a tough feeling. And I didn't have to actually experience that because I got injured early in my career and had to pack it up that way.
Now here's Thompson, 5 to shoot. That's good from Durant on the assist by Şengün. And the Rockets lead by 20.
And what a complete performance we saw from them. A dominant win in every way for the Rockets.
And the disparity in the talent was obvious by the end. Sometimes you just don't have enough ammunition to compete.
Yeah, B.A., just a total beatdown. And the next time these teams meet, I can't imagine it'll be any different.
And for the year now, they've chalked up 35 wins.
And with this victory, they have an edge in the season series at 2-1, with one more game to follow against this team.
They've got one more game left against them, and there's no doubt they'll use this as a jumping-off point to take another game off them later in the year. At least that's the plan.
And what a huge performance it was for Kevin Durant.
Boy, I loved his approach. Business-like, methodical, highly productive. When they needed points, he was the one that got them.
And so Houston takes this one by a big margin. Well, this might not have been the most competitive game we've ever seen, but you've got to appreciate their masterful performance.
And I'm sure their fans appreciated it too. We saw the outstanding defense and a loaded offensive effort. And they were just dominant out there.
And that about wraps it up. For Grant Hill, Allie LaForce, and Clark Kellogg, this is Brian Anderson thanking you all for tuning in tonight. And now let's take a look at our player of the game, Kevin Durant.